One last thing I want to touch on is this important concept of your reactants. One of your reactants, assuming that you have two or more reactants, can be in what we call limited supply. And the one that's in limited supply is the special guy. It's the thing that you're going to run out of first. The one that's actually the reactant that's in limited supply, like if you have an ingredient in your cupboard that you have the least amount of, relatively speaking, to make your cookies or something, that's the one that's going to drive actually how many cookies you make, right? And as it drives how many cookies you make, it will also drive how much of the other reactants or ingredients you use. So that one special guy, its amount, kind of drives the whole situation. Let's see if I can kind of show you what I mean. Let's just take, if you are making sandwiches, and for each sandwich you need 2 pieces of bread and 1 piece of ham. Well, let's say you go to your cupboard and you want to make as many sandwiches as possible, and you recognize that you have kind of a mismatch of ingredients. You have 20 slices of bread and you have 7 slices of ham. So how many sandwiches can you make? I'm going to ask that in the form of a question. Well, let's think through this. Let's see. If you could make with the ham, you could make 7 sandwiches. With the slices of bread, you could make 10. So guess what? 10 is not happening because you're going to run out at 7. Does that make sense? Okay, so the answer to this first question is 7. And then this says, okay, you're going to make your 7 sandwiches, and then it says how much bread will you have left over? What do you think? Well, if in making those 7 sandwiches, you use 2 pieces of bread each, so you use 14 pieces of bread. Okay, well, you started out with 20, so 20 minus 14 slices of bread, I'm getting 6 slices of bread left over. Okay, so do you see how that works? But to me, the number of sandwiches we made and the amount of bread we used and bread we have left over all had to do with the amount that was in there in limited supply, which was the ham. That was your special reactant. Well, I'm going to show you an animation here in a minute, and it's involving nitrogen combining with hydrogen to form ammonia. And let's just say for kicks, you're going to see in this animation that I have 6 molecules of N2 and 12 molecules of H2. So which one is going to be in excess? Well, let's just kind of see how this might work. So if I have 3 molecules of H2, 12 molecules of H2, and I need 3 of them to convert into this once. So notice that I have, does this make sense? I have 4 batches, okay, 4 batches of H2, right, to convert to NH3. Well, if I look over at my N2, I only need 1 for each batch, so I've got 6 batches worth. Does that make sense? 6 batches worth for my N2. So which one's in limited supply? I'm liking the H2, limited. So in that sense, the H2, that amount of H2, is going to drive how much NH3 will be made, and it will also say how much NH2 will be consumed. So let's check out this animation, see if that's what we can see. Now in this animation, we're going to keep in mind that the white balls are going to be your H2s. That's so close. Do it again. Your white balls are going to be H2s, your blue balls are your N2s. So do you see where N2 was in excess and H2 H2 is in limited, supply. So let's see. Very good. Well, that is an important concept and kind of related to time, kind of related to the scope of this course. I'm not necessarily going to do any what we call limited supply calculations. What we're going to do is, instead of going with limited supply stoichiometry, we're going to go with simple or ordinary stoichiometric calculations. It's like the ones that we've just been working on. where either everything's going to be, all the reactants are there in the right amounts to react together, or you have something in excess. Okay, the example we worked at before with the formation of PCl3, actually it was the Cl2 that was in limited supply and the P4 sufficient or in excess supply. So let me know if you have any questions about that, but you won't have to worry about identifying the reactant that's there in limited supply in this introductory course anyway.